remember waking up early, going for runs, putting in for work, going like hard David Goddington mode. It was cold outside, it was raining outside, I'd still go for runs. I'd train as hard as I physically could. The problem was I was still had like a belly, I was still 90 kg, I still didn't feel very good about myself. I didn't feel just happy about my body. And I never knew it was the foods I was eating, what I was having. But once I changed the foods, once I had the right foods, that's when I got in the sick shape. That's when I got the compliments from the guys, from the girls. That's when I just stood out from the crowd and was like that 1% of that guy in amazing shape. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can do this for yourself, the foods to eat and how you can do it. So there's 6-year-old me lying in bed and you hear ruffling under the sheets. I've got 3 chocolate bars in my pocket again. Every night, what I like to do is I'll go to a chocolate bar tin. It's like a red tin with spots all over it. I'll grab about as many as I can, put them in my pocket, run upstairs, hide them, and then I'll eat them later in the night. I did this because it just felt fun. Like as a kid, it just felt like a cool thing to do. I'll sneak chocolate bars up and I'll eat 4 or 5 of them, and no one's gonna tell me off. No one can tell me nothing. I remember I'd eat them and then I'd stuff them in that little thing down there. I'd stuff them in there, all the like wrappers, and then I'd always get caught with the wrappers and stuffed in there. But I always did this. I was a kid that had such a sweet tooth. I'd always have dessert, always have ice cream. But I was skinny. I never felt any repercussions to doing this, to eating all the chocolate, to having all the sweets. As I had such a high metabolism, I just stayed as skinny as before. But as well as a sweet tooth, I used to be quite fussy, I'd say. I used to be quite I didn't like any food that was hard on my teeth. I didn't like to have foods that I had to chew a lot. Instead, I liked the processed foods. I liked the food that were made in factory, that were easy to eat, that were easy to chew. So I liked chicken nuggets, I liked pizzas, I liked quiche, I liked pies, just anything easy to chew, bread. And that's all I ate. I hated chips, tomato ketchup on every meal. That was all I ate for like my whole childhood life. And then growing up as a teenager, it didn't change much. It actually got worse because I started to have my own money now. I started to have my own independence. I started to walk to school by myself, and there was shops on my way to school. So every time I'd stop, I'd get like a pack of Milky Buttons. Or I'd remember every day, this was a ritual. Me and about 6 guys would always bike home from school. We'd stop at KFC and it was a £3 snack box where you get chips and chicken in from KFC. This is like every day. But again, I had a high metabolism. I didn't see like much repercussions from this, as I was still skinny. I didn't look big. So I'd come and I'd just munch on food and food and food. That's all I ate was a processed junk food. Because I was so skinny, I felt insecure. I felt shy. I didn't like my physique. So I started going gym. I was like, I want to get big. I want to get muscular. I want to be that guy. So I'd start going gym and I started eating loads of food as I was bulking. So I'd just eat the same junk food, but a lot of it. I remember a ritual I had, again, I left the gym. Every day I'd leave the gym and there was a Greggs right opposite the gym. And I'd always go into Greggs and they had like a pack of 2 Belgian buns for like £1.49 or something. I'd always buy that, 2 packs. It was about 800 calories worth of just cakes. And every day on my walk home, I'd eat both. And then I'd chuck like the packet in the bin somewhere. But this is what I did every day. I'd have these protein yogurts. I'd always go to Aldi. Aldi was opposite the gym as well. I'd go to Aldi, I'd get the protein yogurts, and yeah, I had 2, 3, 4 of those. I'd ask my mum to buy them. That's all I was having again. I'd come home, I'd either have what my mum cooked me for tea, so it was like an oven-baked pizza or a quiche. That was like the only 2 foods I ate at one point. And I'd have that. And then I'd have loads of sauce, loads of salad cream, loads of garlic sauce on it, stuffed crust, all of it. That was when I was going gym. And I started to gain weight. I started to get big, but there was so much fat on my body. I started to get big and get stronger, but I started to gain a belly. I started to get chubby cheeks. I started to get spots on my forehead more. And my mood was awful. I felt so grumpy all the time. But I did this for ages, maybe over a year and a half, maybe hitting 2 years of just dirty bulking, of eating as much as I could. And I went from a skinny guy to 95 kg and not in good shape. And I was standing in the gym one day. I was in the changing rooms and I was looking in the mirror. My top was off. I remember not liking how I looked, as like I was sucking in. I was tensing as hard as I could. But I still had a belly, but I still didn't look lean. I didn't look good. And I didn't feel good. I felt shame. I felt guilty. I just couldn't, like, I had this thing where I couldn't look at myself properly because it just felt so horrible. It felt like someone hit me if I looked at myself. So, like, I always have to look away in the mirror all the time. And I remember I'm standing there in the gym one day and I'm doing my top off, I'm looking at myself. And my friend walks in and, like, we started talking and whatnot. And I remember he doesn't say it in a malicious way or a horrible way, but he says, "Oh, you're getting a bit of a belly now." And I just felt so insecure at that point. I looked at myself, I was like, yeah, I am. And I felt so guilty. I felt so, like, shameful that I am. And I just hated it. But it made sense why this was happening. All I was doing was eating bad foods, eating processed foods. And I was getting this belly. I wasn't getting in good shape. As I was so consistent with the gym. I was running every morning. I was going gym every day. Like, I wasn't missing days. But I still had these results. And that's because diet meant so much. And I didn't know that till that point. As I always perceive the gym as, if you go, you build muscle. It doesn't really matter about diet that much. Like, it's important. Sleep's important, but it doesn't matter. But I realised it's not like that. If you want to generally get in shape, if you want to get big, it's an overall lifestyle. You've got to have a good diet. You've got to sleep at the right times. You've got to not drink alcohol all the time. And I never did that. I just went to the gym. So I remember sitting here and I watched loads of videos, but I watched one on David Goggins. This really interested me. Is he used to always talk about, like, how he was the outlier. He was the one who did the extra work, who put in the extra hours. He didn't go out to, like, a party. Instead, he went training. And I just realised, the way to really get in shape, the people who always get in shape, who get the best results, it's not just they're going to the gym the most. There's a point where everyone's going to gym 7 days a week. All your competition's going to gym that day. There's a point where you have to change your lifestyle, where you have to change your personal life to fit that goal. For me, I was changing my diet, changing my sleeping pattern, stop playing video games every day instead of sleeping right, eating healthy foods. And knowing this, I'm in my bed, in my chair, and I made a master plan. I'm gonna quit junk food. I watched so many videos and I found Eddie Abu. He talked about processed foods and how bad they were for you. As these processed foods are made in factories and they're made with some, like, foreign chemicals. If you look at the back, or if you look at all the ingredients in a McDonald's burger, you don't know what half those words mean. Like, there's some crazy words in there. And some of them even have numbers in, they're that bad. And these foods, like, our body doesn't digest them well. Our body just, like, stores it into fat, and it's not good for our body. We can just tell by the name of the food. It's not good for your body. Versus if you look at, like, a steak, it is just a steak. If you have a plain steak, the only ingredient in that steak is it's cow or beef or whatever. And knowing, okay, I've got to cut out with, like, processed foods, which is every food really. It's like any food in a supermarket that's not in a packet that you have to season and cook yourself is most probably a processed food. So I found, okay, I've got to cut all these processed foods out. And I've just got to eat whole foods. I've just got to eat meat, vegetables, fruit, the single ingredient, healthy foods. And this was what I was trying to do. This is my master plan. Okay, I'm done. I'm not touching junk food ever again. I'm not touching processed food ever again. So I go down to my kitchen. I'm looking in all the cupboards. I'm trying to work out what foods can I eat, what foods are single ingredient. And I remember the amount of anxiety, the amount of, like, pain I feel in that moment. Because I realised there's no foods, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I give up within 30 minutes. I don't eat any foods at all. I just start going back to the processed foods. I just had no foods, no healthy foods I could have ate. And I struggled so much to cut out these processed foods. These are the foods that ruined my physique, that had me have all the body fat. And I struggled so much to cut out with them. But I persevered. I kept coming back to eating whole foods and trying. As I remember, I'd eat healthy for a day. I'll be so motivated the next day. I'll be like, I'm eating healthy. I'd walk downstairs and I'd see granola. I'd see a chocolate bar sitting out, like, on my kitchen table. And I'd give up again. I'd eat unhealthy. And I'd feel discouraged. I'd feel bad. But then what I had to do and what I did do is I always came back to trying to eat healthy again. I always came back to the diet, trying it again, staying so persistent with it. As I was going to cheat on my diet, it's impossible not to. It's impossible not to cheat on your diet, to not break the streak. But when I cheat on my diet, you don't have to cheat so much. You don't have to, like, feel so guilty and shameful about it. Instead, cheat on your diet with a smile on your face as you get to eat a chocolate bar. So when I cheated on my diet, if I had that chocolate bar and I ate it, I'd enjoy that chocolate bar as much as I could. I'd bite it and I'd taste every like sensation there was. I'd over exaggerate it. I'd say like, damn, that's so good out loud. I'd just act like it was the best chocolate bar in the world, even if it weren't. Just then that shame, I didn't feel shame and guilt, so I didn't eat another one. It was when I really enjoyed the food, when I really indulged in it and just allowed myself to, like, for it to tingle my taste buds. Let's say that. When I let the bad food tingle my taste buds, I didn't eat as much bad of it. And then I'd come back to this healthy diet and I'd stick to it better. But that's not to say I didn't cheat on it all the time, I did. But I just kept persevering. Whenever I ate the bad foods, I enjoyed it. I let it tingle my taste buds. I came back to the good foods, I came back to the healthy foods. And just doing this over time, I started to see gym progress, like burning fat, getting shredded, getting abs. As I went from 95 to maybe 85, and like I could visibly see such a difference. And it was only 4 months, I want to say. Like it happened quickly. And then it started happening quicker and quicker. And I'm down to 73 and like I was completely shredded. I could see like veins in my abs. And then I was like, I wanted to gain a bit of muscle. So I carried on eating healthy foods. I ate more of them. And I gained more muscle and I bulked up to 81 where I am now. And I'm just like in a physique where I'm pretty like happy with my size, but I'm also shredded. But even to this day, it will never be perfect with the diet. You'll never be able to cut out processed foods completely. As recently, I had to have a look at myself and I like just have done these YouTube videos talking about nutrition and I realised like I've been lacking. I've been going out so much, eating bad food, like just going pizzas, having pizzas, going restaurants, even with chicken, just having sauce on it and whatnot, like everywhere, all the time, 2, 3 times a week. And now I'm looking in the mirror and I'm still feeling pride because I'm still in good shape, but I'm not feeling as much pride as before. I'm not feeling like I'm in the best shape I've ever physically been in. And that's because you always will fall back to these processed foods. This was what we were raised on. We were raised on tomato sauce, so you'll fall back to it. But you just got to keep persevering, keep trying. As I've realised I've messed up, but I'm coming back now. I'm like, nah, okay, let's eat clean. Let's not touch any bad food until Christmas time. Then Christmas dinner, maybe I'll allow myself to cheat a bit, you know? It's a Christmas dinner, I may as well enjoy the Yorkshire puddings. But then I'll come back and I won't eat any bad again. And I'll just keep on persevering and trying. I will mess up in the way, I will mess up on the process. But it's the trying that counts. So comment down below the food that you crave all the time when you're sticking to your clean diet, the food that keeps pulling you back. Comment that down below. But apart from that, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe now, and I'll see you in the next video.